This protest was staged by a group of farmers from Hulluwewa in Anuradhapura on the 17th of January. As a result of the demonstration, 4 days later, that is on the 22nd of January, representatives of the Hulluwewa Joint Farmers Association were granted an opportunity for talks at the Ministry of Agriculture in Battaramulla. At the talks, the Minister and the Ministry Secretary requested the farmers to grant them more time to carry out a promise made by the Minister to the farmers at a meeting held in Gallenbindunuwewa on the 11th of August last year. As the farmers had already made more serious sacrifices than granting a grace period, they gave the authorities until the 22nd of February to resolve their problems. As a result, by the 22nd of February, 1,592 farmers should have received 16,500 rupees each as compensation. The sum of money was to cover the losses incurred by farmers who, on the recommendation of the Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture at the time, cultivated soybean seeds which later turned out to be substandard and provided a low yield. The farmers do not have the ability to prove the decisions that were arrived at during the discussion held on the 22nd of January. However, the Divisional Secretary of Gallenbindunuwewa confirms the promise made by the Minister of Agriculture to the farmers at talks held at the Divisional Secretariat on the 11th of August last year.
The Minister instructed me to deploy my officials to assess the damage caused. I wish to ask if there was a shortcoming in this process.
The Divisional Secretary, who conducted an assessment as instructed, submitted a list of names of farmers entitled to compensation to the Ministry of Agriculture in September last year. The Divisional Secretary also confirms that when the list of names and the report was taken up at the Maha Harvest meeting, the District Secretary of Anuradhapura too had assured the farmers that compensation would be paid.
The GA instructed me to give all the information to the District Agriculture Director, and I have done so. It is a problem for me as to how I am to fulfill a promise that was made by the District Secretary. Isn't it the District Secretary himself who should resolve this?
As a result of the officials who should be held accountable for this issue evading their duties, the Divisional Secretary, who is powerless in this matter, has been caught in the trap of having to make explanations to the farmers as to why their problems have not been resolved. The previous Agriculture Secretary, whose recommendation that the farmers use substandard seeds was the cause of the problem, has been able to sidestep any loss of face in this problem since he has now been assigned as Secretary to the Ministry of Special Projects, which has been entrusted with addressing the high incidence of kidney disease in the North Central Province. While the issue at hand is not as serious as renal disease, shouldn't steps be taken nonetheless to recompense the farmers who have incurred major losses as a result of a recommendation from a responsible public official to plant substandard seeds? Minister of Agriculture, once again, this is over to you.